Okay, I'm going to step outside the box here a little bit and just show you. This is one of the magazines that I subscribed to back in 1985, and I don't have them all, just some. And I'm just going to scroll down here just to show you that they got a couple of stickers down here. Right here, I'm going to flip those over and blow them up a little bit. And shows you that I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time. See, they're dated. And you can't make this stuff up. But I'm sure some people have accused me of making things up. And there on page 2 was this article that possibly could have been what really made me start getting interested in gold coins. Now remember, in 1985, there were still no U.S. Released minted gold coins. But I found this pretty interesting. I was thought that this was pretty nice. Here you could collect these miniature gold coins of Roman emperors and different coins from around the world, and I would suspect that most of them were Roman emperors, and I just thought that looked cool. I thought that was really neat, and that was something that I think just kind of stuck in the back of my mind there, and possibly had gotten me more on some of the journeys that I actually took later in life. Just wanted to show you that. Now I'm moving forward in time. We're looking at COINage Magazine from October of 1993, and this comes from page 4. And we're going to show some of the acronyms here. American Numismatic Association, Grading Guide, Brown and Dunn. I don't think these two exist anymore. Numismatic Guarantee Corp of America, they're one of the biggest ones. And then you have PCGS, Professional Grade, a professional coin grading service. And we also have today PNG, which is Professional Numismatic Guild. And this is just to orient you with some of the stuff here. I'm going to scroll on down. Now coins are graded, but 1 to 70 basically. And even though they go 68, 69, 70, those MS numbers are actually reserved for proof coins. And then you have proof deep cameo, which we'll get into later, super high or high cameo, etc., etc. But mint state 67. Here you see it here, superb gem, MS 65, 63, MS 60. And we're going to pick up here on page 16 where the article here is Go for the Generic Gold. They're not coin stars, but they can be interesting investments. Yes, sir. Whatever the interesting means there, we're going to see. You can decide for yourself just how interesting these investments can be. And then, of course, we show several coins in the slabs. You see here, they have 4 slabs out here of some gold coins. I'm going to blow it up so you can see the grading on them. MS65 here, 1924, $20 piece. Here's another one, 1912, half eagle. MS64, MS63. Here we have a 1904 double eagle, MS63. And I guess these coins just somehow didn't get melted down, did they? Now on page 16, same page, generic coins are those which exist in sufficient quantities to be traded like kind units, very much like commodities. In other words, if you have like a roll of them, I would suppose, is that right? A roll of these double eagles, eagles, half eagles, etc., etc. If they're all, if you rolled up in paper, these coins may have may be in high levels of preservation. More often than not, in fact, those traded frequently in the current marketplace are in mint state condition. But they're readily available in those grades. Wow, that means, I guess, that we just have time. Well, yeah, we have rolls and rolls of them, slab after slab. So buyers and sellers have quick access to sources of supply, and one is treated much like any other, so that these coins are interchangeable. Common date double eagles, St. Gaudens double eagles, are viewed, for example, as generic coins. By contrast, truly scarce coins are one-of-a-kind pieces, and each has its own personality. See how crazy these guys are? I guess they get their gold coins out and talk to them. They talk to them, and they see how they're feeling. These coins have their own personality. I'm just saying, but I'm just saying a lot. Low mintage, not high quality, is the key determining factor in their value. Some, of course, possess not only scarcity, but also exceptional quality. And that combination greatly enhances their value. But unlike generic gold coins, so this is all gold, unlike generic gold coins, truly scarce gold coins are treated first and foremost as collectibles, not commodities. No motto, Liberty Head half eagles, those minted between 1839 and 1866. Now remember these dates here, but half eagles between 1839 and 1866, because I'm going to show you later just how scarce they are. Without the motto, "In God We Trust" on the reverse, fall within this category. Okay? They don't have "In God We Trust" on them. They're very scarce as a group, with mintages generally well under 100,000. Flat out scarce in a number of individual instances. There's just 100,000 of them. Well, 100,000 half equals, you probably couldn't haul that around in a pickup truck. Precious metal content forms an important part of generic coins' value, much more so than it does in the case of scarce gold coins. Whew! Whew! Let's look at that again. Precious metal content forms an important part of generic coins' value. Well, I guess it being gold might affect it in the first place, wouldn't you think? More so than it does in the case of scarce gold coins. And then we're talking about here some of the lower grades. In levels of preservation, generic gold coins are virtually bullion coins. They command just a little bit over premium of the market value of the metal they contain. And we're going to look at that. We're going to see what that little premium, that modest premium there is. We're going to look at it here a little bit later. And they rise and fall in the value as the precious metal itself goes up or down in price. So that begs the question for me, is that if you have a gold double eagle coin, which we will look at some, that's worth maybe $400,000, and the price of gold goes up, let's say $25 overnight, does that make that $400,000 coin now worth $450,000? Why, of course, because the price of gold went up $15, $20. The price differential widens considerably as the grade level moves up to mint state 63 and above. Well, then why bother with generic coins? And at times when the market is bullish, the differential balloons even more. Conversely, when conditions are adverse, the differential contracts. And here we have, like, since May of 89, and this is kind of twisted, when the coin market scaled its last major peak, high-grade generic gold coins have fallen in value sharply. Boy, ain't that, yeah, and the whole article is to buy more of them, and the price just dropped into nothing, even though gold itself actually went up in value slightly during that time. But you just lost your ass. The average price of gold was $372 an ounce in May of 89, and July of 1993, it averaged just under $400. Let's look at a few examples. The Certified Coin Dealer Newsletter, May of 1989, assigned a value of $3,900 to common date St. Gaudens Double Eagles, graded Mint State 65 by the PCGS. In early June 93, those same coins were valued at $1,400. Wow! Yeah, let's go buy these. And yes, that's a good investment. When you buy something for $4,000 and just a few years later it's worth only $1,400, yes, that's a good investment. That's a good investment. Meaning they were worth only 36% of their 1989 peak value. But let's buy them up. Let's buy them up because they are interesting, they are fun, and they are. But they didn't fall to that point in a straight line. On July the 3rd, 1992, for example, they were listed as just $1,000, only about 25% of their 89. So in 3 years, the price dropped 20. So between then and June of this year, they actually rose in value nearly 50%. Yeah, but you already lost your ass. So what are you going to do? You're going to buy the coin, and once you realize that that coin is worthless, as soon as it goes up and you can recover anything, you're going to sell it as fast as you can to whatever nutcase is going to buy it. On May 26, 1989, Blue Sheet set a market price of $2,400 for an Indian head eagle graded MS63 by the PCGS. In June of 93, 4 years later, those coins were worth $1,400. Oh, well, that's a good investment if it only loses $1,000 in 4 years. That is considered in the numismatic world a good, safe investment. But in July of 1992, they had been worth only, look at this, $790. Thus, between then and June of this year, they rose in value nearly 80%. But the 80% is regulated on what they were when they were rock bottom. And here we go again. Valuation of Liberty Eagles, $3,000 with In God We Trust, graded as MS63 by the PCGS. In June of 1993, those coins had made had a market value of $1,240. So in '89 they were $3,000. In '93 they were $1,240. And man, that's where I want to put my money. That's where I want to put my money. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You just keep investing your money. Yep. And then in 1992, they came up to $875. Not all generic coins fell as far as these. What? Not all of them did. Not all of them did, but here the whole article is telling you to buy them. Remember what the name of the article is. Go for the generic gold. They can be interesting investments. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Not all generic coins, gold coins fell that far or have fluctuated as greatly during the last 4 years. but many have experienced significant swings in value, creating opportunities to buy and sell advantageously, even though the coin market has remained depressed throughout this period, relative to its status in May of 1989. Scarce gold coins, by contrast, have had no similar immediate ups and downs. Well, if the scarce gold coins have not seen the similar ups and downs, why are you telling me to buy the ones that do? Okay? Rather, they have remained unremittingly depressed, except for the early months of 1992, when the market temporarily appeared to be rebounding. So once you're stuck with these coins, as soon as it looks like it's just going to go back a little bit, man, you need to unload them. Other than that, just hang on to them. Just hang on to them and sell them later, or I would suppose, for a whole lot less, once the market gets flooded with them. Being unavailable in quantity, scarce gold coins cannot be promoted profitably, manipulated, if you will, by numismatic entrepreneurs, the way their generic cousins can be. Thus, they enjoy the temporary boost in value generated by what might be called, look at this, artificial market stimulation. And that's the whole deal here. When it comes to gold coins and gold bullion, artificial market stimulation. And you should understand that I'm not making this up. I'm just reading it to you in context so that you can see it. So if there's some coin dealer that says, oh, well, you're just over dramatizing this or that, I'm just showing you what COINage Magazine says, and you can make of it what you want. Okay? Instead, they lie dormant until the market regains more permanent underlying strength. Whoo! Yeah. What you do is you lay awake at night thinking you got a vault full of worthless coins that you're now $100,000 upside down in, and you're waiting to see if you can just recover anything. Truly scarce gold coins benefit more dramatically than generic ones. Well, wait a minute. The name of the article is Go for the Generic Gold. And here you're just now saying that the truly scarce ones benefit more dramatically than the generic ones when the market conditions are bullish. This guy must not have read his article after he penned it. I'm just saying. He considers them to be much better buys from the standpoint of long-term investment. But he's telling everybody to buy them. Just as their malaise is more persistent and pronounced during market slumps, their performance is also more spectacular and sustained when the good times roll. But the good times never roll. They have the potential to soar to half of their value. But, as we have seen since 1989, the coin market, like any other segment of the economy, wait a second, let's do it right again. But, as we have seen since 1989, the gold coin market, like any other segment of the economy, what? No, ladies and gentlemen, the gold coin market is not like any other segment of the economy. And anybody that thinks so is stupid. The guy that writes this article is stupid. Is subject to its share of slumps, and these can be protracted. Oh, just overlook it. Just overlook it. And during such periods, it is comforting and challenging for action-oriented players, suckers, to know that there is still more ferment in the marketplace and they still have a chance to realize meaningful profits what if they live to be 200, 300 years old on a short-term basis without having to wait for the possibly distant light at the end of the long-range tunnel? Now, if that's not a word circle, I don't know what is. But here, we want to buy more generic gold coins. Many generic gold coins lost 50% of their value between May 89 and he got burned. But who sets the price? You got it. Then regained roughly half the lost value before sinking lower again. That's right. You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. This ebb and flow pattern was subsequently repeated twice more. So it not only goes down, and it goes further and further and further down. And I love this. This is so cool. Let's say a certain coin was worth $10,000 in May of 1989. And you bought it a year later for $5,000. Well, do you think that guy's going to sell it to you for half what he paid? I'm just asking. You could have sold this coin for $7,500 when the market rebounded temporarily. To who? You think that a coin dealer is going to try to sucker? He's trying to pay his mortgage with gold coins, and you think that he can just keep losing $2,500, $5,000 a pop? Then, when the market rebounded temporarily, then bought it back for $5,000 or even less. Yes, sir. Yeah. Every coin dealer I know, they just want to make the worst investments ever. That's what they want to do. They want to lose $5,000 on every gold coin they sell. That just goes to show you how smart of an investment they are. Now, this comes up on page 20 in the same article. If you believe the price increase resulted not from promotion, but rather from genuine economic justification, well, excuse me, but what's the difference? At this point, what difference does it make? Of course it's promotion of economic justification. And you believe the justification will last. If you believe it, you have to have faith. Then you should consider turning your attention to coins with greater long-term potential. Scarce gold coins, for example. What? Scarce gold coins? But the name of the article is Go for the Generic Gold. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it and get that in everybody's mind. Those these coins, the scarce gold coins, should do far better in the long run. Just remember what the name of the article is. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. But truly rare gold, but truly scarce gold coins will go up even more. But then why should I buy the generic? Okay, gold may not be heading to the moon anytime soon. And this is just how colorful he tries. This shows how bad this writer is. Reservation on the gold bugs rocket ride. But roller coaster rides can be very costly. I mean, exciting, and possibly even rewarding. Possibly rewarding. You might get your ass back. You just might. You just might. But go ahead and buy it up. And then look at here at the end of it. Go for the generic gold. This is an advertisement from October 1993, COINage Magazine, concerning Stanley Morycz, right here. And I wanted to show this because there is no one who collects currency today who is old school from 20 plus years ago, such as myself, who can deny that Stanley Morycz had the finest catalogs there ever were concerning American or United States currencies for sale. He had the most beautiful specimens. They were priced right, and I bought a bunch of currencies from Stanley Morycz. I mean, there is no one. His catalogs were, and I just wish that I had some of his catalogs. I tried to find some online. There are none. And I had them. I had just dozens of them. Beautiful, beautiful catalogs. And he showed the each currency in actual size in a lot of cases. Just the color and the way he laid his stuff out. There was no one finer, and there never will be anyone finer when it comes to American currencies than Stanley Morycz. I just want to throw that out there, and this was an advertisement for his stuff. And this is from 1993, 92, 91, 92, 93. I bought a bunch of stuff from this guy. I bought a bunch of stuff. Now I'm going to feature this book from Whitman Publishing from 1998. This is another one of my father's books, an official Whitman Guidebook. Now, I introduced Whitman Publishing to you 30 years ago, back in 1968, when they, in that article in COINage Magazine, where they're advertising, or the article is about, they are going to start publishing guidebooks for currencies and such, paper money. And this is a very cleverly put together book, coins, questions, and answers, very informative, very knowledgeable. And now Whitman, again, became a really big player in the industry. They started publishing coin books in the late 1930s, and they were the ones that had the little albums that you could put your coins in, and you could collect each one, and they were all made out of paper and such. A really good books to use while collecting pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, 50-cent pieces, silver dollars, all kinds of money, coinage and such. And this is a great book. I like this book. And like I say, Whitman, they are one of the biggest players, because every year they put out the red book, the blue book, the black book. They got all kinds of books every year that they publish concerning the evaluation of coins and such. And a lot of people use these books for reference concerning price guides and such like that. They're great people. And we're going to jump over here to page 18, and we're going to look at a couple of pieces, some captions here, some questions. Is it illegal to own gold coins? Not anymore. You can own all the gold you can afford. Laws were changed in 1975, making it legal to buy, sell, and hold all U.S. and foreign gold coins. Most gold coins and bullion were illegal to own from 1934 to 1974 because of a government regulation that tried to prevent the demand and price of gold from going too high. This was a sad time in our American numismatic history. Well, how many of you remember what happened in late 74, 1975 to the economy of the United States? Do you remember that? We had a big recession. And I'm not saying that gold had anything to do with it, because there were so many things going on. Gas shortage, beef shortage, sugar shortage, coffee. It seemed like between 1974 and 75, there was a new shortage every month that you had that would just jump the price up at the store or the delivery system, wherever that was purchased at. We're going to jump over to page 103 here. Why can't a collector own a 1933 double eagle gold piece? Okay, well, I'm still on this because I believe it is important for the layman to know more about it and to keep it fresh in your mind. None of the 1933 double eagle gold coins were released to general circulation. Well, see, he got it right, didn't he? He got it right. Almost predictably. What? Almost predictably, a few specimens did escape the melting pot. I'm saying several thousand. They are subject to confiscation by the Treasury Department. The last of these coins to be seized was taken from the King Farouk collection when it went on sale in 1955, which it wasn't, from all my other sources, it wasn't seized. It was never seized. They just took it back. They took it off of the block, the auctioning block. They kept it. And it disappeared. It just disappeared. So I find this interesting, and I'm going to be following this. One of the threads I'm following here. Now we're going to jump up to page 104. Next page. And I find this interesting. Where did the United States Mint obtain gold for coinage before the California gold strike? Rutherford County, North Carolina, supplied most of the nation's gold from 1790 to 1840. They found a lot of gold there in Rutherford County, North Carolina. Yep. And it was in the early 1800s, around 1805, 1806 or so, when they found gold in Dahlonega, Georgia. And that's why they set up the mint in Dahlonega, Georgia, because they had so much gold there, which we're going to get into a little bit more. But Dahlonega, Georgia also stamped out gold coins for years and years. Years and years. Moving forward to page 108. Why did President Roosevelt act in 1933 to restrict the ownership of gold by American citizens? Good question. The president moved to require holders of gold to deliver their holdings in the metal except for coins of numismatic merit, which we're going to look at later, of numismatic merit, whatever that means, to the government for one purpose and one purpose only: to prevent individuals from profiting by the official reevaluation of gold from $20 per ounce to $35. And so if he had 10 ounces, he was going to make an extra $15 per. He's going to make an extra $150 off of those 10 gold coins. Oh, that would have been just horrible, wouldn't it? It would have been just so terrible. I'm just saying. $15 an ounce. Okay, now, here's very interesting. Only half of the $571 million worth of gold coin estimated to be held by the public in 1933 was ever turned in. Okay, all right. Only half of the $571 million worth of gold coin was ever turned in. But wait a minute. I just showed you 23 years ago, back in 1975, in February of 1975. Look at this. Americans, through fear or ignorance, divested themselves of their gold coins too, and more than $1 billion worth in terms of face value ended up in Uncle Sam's melting pots. Well, see, these guys evidently with Whitman Publishing, they would have never thought that someone would still have a 1975 magazine that would say something just absolutely, totally different. Now, only half of the 571 million. This is back in 1998. Now, half of 571 million would be what? 285, 284, something like that. Millions worth of gold coins. And here, we're saying, what? Three, 4 times that? More than $1 billion worth ended up. I'm just pointing this out to you. You see it yourself here. 1998. 1975. I'm just showing the information. I have no comment other than the fact that one of these is a lie, wouldn't you say? Is the one from 1998 a lie? Or is the one from 1975 a lie? There's no way that both of them can be correct. I'm just pointing that out. Now, I'm going to go to page 109. Well, the question is, I have heard it is illegal to own foreign gold coins. Is that correct? It was illegal to own, buy, or sell foreign gold coins dated after 1933. Well, what about the ones dated before 1933? Except for specific exceptions. Boy, these coin writers, they never get busted by the grammar police, do they? until December 31st, 1974, at which time the Treasury removed all restrictions on the ownership of gold by Americans. Until the ban was lifted, all eligible gold coins which individuals wished to purchase from abroad could not be brought into the country, get this, without a special gold import license. Well, how did you get that? How did one obtain a special gold import license? How did somebody back in the 1950s and 60s get a special gold import license? Who did you have to beat? Who got special import gold licenses? Now, moving up to page 139. Is it illegal to hold gold certificates? Which I've mentioned a little bit, I've touched on it, and I may do another video and really touch on currencies and gold certificates, but I'm not now. But I am going to show this so I don't have to show it again. Gold certificates were called in the same as gold coin by the order of the Secretary of the Treasury, same day, dated December 28, 1933. At that time, it was illegal to hold them. However, the Secret Service did not come looking for them because they could not be exchanged for gold and were not legal tender. Okay, they were not legal tender, although they were exchangeable for lawful money at any bank. Well, if they were exchangeable for lawful money at any bank, how could they be illegal tender? Now, how could they be not legal tender? Exchanged for gold and were not legal tender, but you could take it to the bank and swap it in. Now, what do you imagine the banks did back then when somebody brought in their gold certificates? Well, I'm sure a bunch of them held on to their gold certificate. I'm sure that some bank tellers, they gave the 10 and then they just took a 10 out of their wallet, put it in there, made books come out right, and kept it. I'm just speculating here. In April of 1964, the Treasury Department revised its ruling, and it is now legal to own and display gold certificates for numismatic purposes. You know what that means? For numismatic purposes, that means that you can advertise in every coin magazine and catalog that you have them for sale, and you can put pictures in there, and you can sell them for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times what face value is, depending on the condition. That's what that means. You can pick up this coin book as well as any other Whitman coin book at your local coin dealer, at your local coin shop. And a little side tangent here I want to tell you is I actually found a coin shop locally, well, 50, 60 miles away, that will actually give you your change back in brilliant uncirculated coins right out of the roll. Ain't that peachy? Go in, buy something, and you get brilliant uncirculated coins as your change. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. And I'm sure that other coin shops will do it too if you ask them. If you ask them, hey, can you give me, you got any brilliant uncirculated coins in your cash register here? Why don't you front me some of those, bro?